going to be a two-part series, this video, and it's about a place at Rochdale that's very notorious. I've never really been in this part of Rochdale, and I've never really started any documentation, but it's about the Seven Sisters in Rochdale, and it's about the deaths in Rochdale as well, and it's about the controversy that lies in that part of the borough. There's obviously seven sisters. They're all called different names, and I got told a story about Dunkirk. About the one of the sisters is called Dunkirk. It's one of the high-rise flats. So you'll see some pictures anyway that I'm going to give you. Now, a friend of mine tells me his sister died in one of these flats, and he said it's like the manner that she died. He said she ended up going through a small window or something, and she fell to her death. Now, what he told me was, he told me the full story, but I don't want to go too much into it, but he said the balcony was there, which had more space, and, you know, the questions need to be asked is why she didn't take the balcony route. So there's other deaths too. There's obviously many people that have jumped to the deaths before. My cat's come to join the party because she wants to know as well. There's obviously, like I said, I think there were a burglar incident too, where someone tried to burgle one of the flats over an Xbox, and he fell to his death also. But yeah, this part of Rochdale is real gloomy, and it's real spooky. So this is why I give you all the information that I've got, all the documentation of all the incidences. Now I know stuff myself that's happened that's not also been documented. You know, I don't like using names unless the press has released the names. So if you see me reading off the press or what the press has wrote, it's not my actual opinion. It's just me reading from what the press have wrote. So I just go over some of the incidences what MEN and Rochdale Online have spoke about. But also this area is supposed to be getting just RBH want to demolish this part of the area. I don't know what the plans are, but there is a petition in place basically about this, and you know, you could just read it up online. It's nothing that's not well known. But the reason why I'm doing this video is I want to understand why some of these deaths have taken place. So I do have a strategy in place that I'll use to try and understand whether this is another suicide spot, which it is. And there are more suicide spots in Rochdale that we've covered before, such as Smirrbridge train track, Healey-Dell. So what we're trying to do now is another one was I called it the Bridge of Doom, which was Queen's Park Bridge also, where I went day and I went night also. And then what it is, I'm trying to understand the pattern, or to see if there's any kind of pattern between all these suicide spots, to see if it's demonic or anything of that nature. But yeah, I'll show you the press now. I'll stop talking really. But this is the first part, and then obviously part two will be my investigation, because there's too much information that I have to give you in one video, so I'd rather do this as a two-part series. But yeah, anyway, let's check out Seven Sisters and see what it says really. We'll have a look at some pictures, and then like I said, the second part will be me at the Seven Sisters. I'll probably start in Dunkirk first and then work my way through. I've got no doubt there'll be lots of stuff coming through. As I also heard a story once of some paramedics also responding to someone that had jumped, and there was said there was black liquid on the floor, which was the blood or something. I don't know if that was true, because it was a second-hand story, because I've never seen anyone, you know, obviously when someone jumps, it's like what's left of the body basically, can you make stuff out? You know, it's obviously, I don't want to go too much into detail, because obviously YouTube might be monetizing my video. So anyway, we'll crack on here. Here we go. So if you don't know Rochdale's the third worst place to live in the UK. There's other ones as well, like Rotherham and places like that. But this is just the aerial pictures, and I'll just go over this quickly. So it was 1965 the first flats opened, and then they've been open since then. So the architects were Mr. Mercer and Mr. Collins, and then here's some more pictures just about College Bank, and here's just the burglar incident that I spoke to you about before. So the pathologist wrote that the guy used a leather belt, who was called Mr. Haywood, and obviously he fell, and he tried to do it to the handrail of the balcony to get to the next level, or I don't know if it was above or below. These are just some pictures. And then there was a fire also where a man died from smoke inhalation, and that was obviously 2019. I don't think there's been anything recent, but there's obviously been a lot of history from the 60s, from when it was obviously made. It's just more about the fire, and then it goes on about the pattern of the rate of the suicides, which was 4 deaths every 2 years. But obviously, if you ever go down here at night time, it is very spooky. But this is obviously the back and forth from the council back to the councillors, I think, and the petitions. Well, obviously they try to. Obviously, the press is just releasing what's going on, due to if they want to, demolish the buildings or not. But yeah, so obviously a real spooky area of Rochdale, much of it very notorious too. So there's also reports of people, high risk suicide people, being put in the college bank to live. That's also a realistic, scenario as well, why people were jumping if that were to be true. And though obviously it's very easy to get mugged. There are cameras that are higher above. I think it's where Rochdale Police or Greater Manchester Police observe the area from, because obviously they can see Manchester Road there, and if there's any car crashes or whatever, they can see what's going on. But obviously the crime rate in that area is quite high, or it has been in the past. So it's obviously it's quite a dangerous place. But the reason why I wanted to come back to this video is because when I first started this channel, I was doing videos called Ghosts of Rochdale. You could just type them on YouTube, and every time I went to College Bank, there was always weird stuff happening as far as magnetism and milligauss, and some of the pathways in the mornings, because that's where I used to do it. I used to go at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning into Rochdale Town Centre. I think I need to do that again because I've not done that this year, so maybe that'll be another project coming up soon. But I really want to try and exploit Rochdale Town Centre for what it is, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Obviously, I like to clear things up, but it's not about whether it being good or bad. I'm trying to show the past and Rochdale's past and Rochdale's history, and how much malevolence in energy from medieval times even, because obviously malevolent energy can make people do bad things. It's like almost like a possession, where I spoke about possessions before. Possessions don't mean something like The Exorcist or something like that, where the red turns and you can tell someone's possessed, because sometimes people can get possessed and not even know. You can't even tell usually, and this is where people can end their lives, or have real intent towards people with violence for not much cause. I've seen this many times in many incidences that I've read, and it's always usually related to something to do with the devil, such as drugs or money or something for that nature. Money being greed, and now you're talking about the 7 sins. When I was talking about the burglar before, the theft is obviously one of the 7 sins. So it's some things add up and some things don't. But it's obviously definitely, when I go there in night time, I'm sure everything will come through to see what really is happening, and to give some kind of clarity on that area of Rochdale, and why maybe if anything there might be some science behind these deaths, which I think is really important. Because if things need to be put in place to try and minimise this, then I believe that they should. But you're talking about beliefs, and some people don't believe in this kind of stuff. But if you can prove it through science, this is how you prove basically what you're saying. It just depends how many people will listen. Anyway, we'll look forward to the night where we'll go and we'll get some real answers and see what's in the white noise. Obviously, if there are demonic things, I'll be able to tell. And I've not got no doubt that there'll be stuff like I fell from height or something of that nature coming through the tube, because I can't take the book because it's just too dangerous. I need to be as discreet as possible and go when there's no one around. That way, it's just a bit safer for me. But we'll just have to pick a time and a place, and I'm sure Theresa will sort that out. Anyway, wish me luck, won't you? Because the nighttime video will be coming, I would have thought, sometime soon, the next couple of days, no doubt. But I wanted to do this video first because I think it's an area of Rochdale that really needs some kind of clarity and some kind of airtime and some kind of awareness as well. Anyway, hope to see you soon.